Okay, guys, so I'm gonna talk about the progesterone challenge test. And for you guys to really understand this, it's important to know the menstruation cycle. So day one of your cycle is whenever your period starts. You know, you start bleeding and that happens. And after that, you have estrogen starting to kick in, getting the uterus ready for for a fertilized egg to hatch on and start growing. Um, and when the LH surge happens around mid-cycle, that's when ovulation happens and the egg comes out. You have a corpus luteum after that, which starts releasing progesterone. The progesterone keeps the uterus really thick and just very thick and rich to be able to grow the baby. And then after that, it becomes a corpus albicans, doesn't make any much progesterone after that. And then as soon as the progesterone drops, then that's when your day one cycle starts again, and then you start bleeding, and so on and repeat. So the point of doing the progesterone challenge test is to know if the woman is ovulating or not. So what you do is you give them Provera, which is a form of progesterone. You give them that, and then for several days, and then you stop. And once you stop, a few days afterwards, if they start bleeding, so withdrawal bleeding from the progesterone, if they start bleeding, then that means that the problem doesn't really lie in the estrogen. So the uterus could be getting thick and everything, but then what happens is that it never ovulates. So the egg doesn't actually ovulate, and you don't have, the corpus luteum, which is going to start secreting progesterone. And then once you have that drop in progesterone, then, your endometrium starts bleeding. So that's what it's used for, to know, okay, so if that happens, if once you give the progesterone to a woman and then she starts bleeding afterwards, you can say, okay, she has a problem, she's not ovulating. That's what's wrong with her. So that's a positive test of the progesterone challenge test. If she doesn't start bleeding, then you could say there's a problem with her hypothalamic pituitary axis, something wrong probably with FSH or LH, or if she could have a problem, her endometrium isn't reacting to the hormones, or it could be that she doesn't have enough estrogen, so you don't get your endometrium ready for, you start growing the new arteries, vessels, so once you stop, it won't really bleed and shed because it wasn't even prepped to do that in the first place. So really, if you get a positive one, then, you could say, okay, I think it's an ovulation, and, feel pretty good about that. But if you get a negative one, then as a doctor, that means you have more work, more labs to order. And yeah, that's it.